2 Samuel 16 through 18. David went a little beyond the top of Ziba. The servant of Meribal was there to meet him, with saddled donkeys, laden with 200 loaves of bread and an ephah of cakes of pressed raisins, an ephah of summer fruits, and a skin of wine. The king said to Ziba, "What are you doing with all this?" Ziba replied, "The donkeys are for the king's household to ride on. The bread and the summer fruits are for your servants to eat, and the wine to drink when they grow weary in the wilderness." Then the king said, "And where is your lord's son?" Ziba answered, "He is staying in Jerusalem, for he said, 'Today the house of Israel will restore to me my father's kingdom.'" The king therefore said to Ziba, "So everything Meribal had is yours?" Then Ziba said, "I pay you homage, my lord the king. May I find favor with you." As King David was approaching Bahurim, there was a man coming out. He was of the same clan as the house of Saul, and his name was Shimei, son of Gera. He kept cursing as he came out, and throwing stones at David and at all the king's officers, even though all the soldiers, including the royal guard, were on David's right and his left. Shimei was saying as he cursed, get out, you man of blood, you scoundrel. The Lord has paid you back for all the blood shed from the family of Saul, whom you replaced as king, and the Lord has handed over the kingdom to your son Absalom. And now look at you, you suffer ruin because you are a man of blood." Abishai, son of Zeruiah, said to the king, "Why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over and take off his head." But the king replied, "What business is it of mine or of yours, sons of Zeruiah, that he curses? Suppose the Lord has told him to curse David, who then will dare to say, 'Why are you doing this?'" Then David said to Abishai and to all his servants, "If my own son, who came forth from my loins, is seeking my life, how much more might this Benjamite do so? Let him alone and let him curse, for the Lord has told to him. Perhaps the Lord will look upon my affliction and repay me with good for the curses he is uttering this day." David and his men continued on the road, while Shimei kept up with them on the hillside, all the while cursing and throwing stones and dirt as he went. The king and all the soldiers with him arrived at the Jordan, tired out, and stopped there to rest. In the meantime, Absalom, with all the Israelites, entered Jerusalem, and Ahithophel was with him. When David's friend Hushai the Archite came to Absalom, he said to him, "Long live the king, long live the king." But Absalom asked Hushai, "Is this your devotion to your friend? Why did you not go with your friend?" Hushai replied to Absalom, "On the contrary, I am his whom the Lord and all his people and all Israel have chosen, and with him I will stay. Furthermore, as I was in attendance upon your father, so I will be before you. Whom should I serve, if not his son?" Then Absalom said to Ahithophel, "Offer your counsel on what we should do." Ahithophel replied to Absalom, "Go to your father's concubines, whom he left behind to take care of the palace. When all Israel hears how odious you have made yourself to your father, all those on your side will take courage." So a tent was pitched on the roof for Absalom, and Absalom went to his father's concubines in the view of all Israel. Now the counsel given by Ahithophel at that time was as though one sought the word of God. Such was the counsel of Ahithophel, both to David and to Absalom. Ahithophel went on to say to Absalom, "Let me choose 12,000 men and be off in pursuit of David tonight. If I come upon him when he is weary, and discouraged. I shall cause him panic, and all the people with him will flee, and I shall strike down the king alone. Then I can bring back the rest of the people to you as a bride returns to her husband. It is the death of the only one man you are seeking. Then all the people will be at peace." This plan sounded good to Absalom and to all the elders of Israel. Then Absalom said, "Now call Hushai the Archite also. Let us hear what he has to say." When Hushai came to Absalom, Absalom said to him, "This is Ahithophel's plan. Shall we follow his plan? If not, give your own." Hushai replied to Absalom, "This time Ahithophel has not given good counsel." And he went on to say, "You know that your father and his men are warriors, and that they are as fierce as a bear in the wild, robbed of her cubs. Moreover, since your father is a skilled fighter, he will not spend the night with the army. Even now he lies hidden in one of the caves or in one of his other places, and if some of our soldiers should fall at the first attack, whoever hears of it will say, 'Absalom's followers have been slaughtered.' And even the brave man with the heart of a lion, his heart will melt, for all Israel knows that your father is a fighter, and those who are with him are brave. This is what I counsel. Let all Israel be assembled, from Dan to Beersheba, as numerous as the sands of the sea, and you yourself go with them. We can then attack him wherever we find him, settling down upon him as dew alights on the ground. None shall survive, neither he nor any of his followers. And if he retires into a city, all Israel shall bring ropes to that city, and we can drag it into the gorge, so that not even a pebble of it can be found." Then Absalom and all the Israelites said, "The counsel of Hushai the Archite is better than the counsel of Ahithophel, for the Lord has commanded that Ahithophel's good counsel should be thwarted, so that he might bring Absalom to ruin." Then Hushai said to the priests Zadok and Abiathar, "This is the counsel Ahithophel gave Absalom and the elders of Israel, and this is what I counseled, to send a warning to David immediately. Do not spend the night at the fords near the wilderness, but cross over without fail. Otherwise the king and all the people with him will be destroyed." Now Jonathan and Ahimaaz were staying at En Rogel. A maidservant was to come with information for them, and they in turn were to go and report to King David. They could not risk being seen entering the city, but an attendant did see them and informed Absalom. They hurried on their way and reached the house of Benjamin, of a man in Bahurim, who had a cistern in his courtyard. They let themselves down into it, and the woman took the cover and spread it over the mouth of the cistern, strewing crushed grain on the cover so that nothing could be noticed. When Absalom's servants came to the woman at the house, they said, "Where is Ahimaaz and Jonathan?" The woman replied, "They went by a short while ago toward the water. They searched but found no one, and so returned to Jerusalem. As soon as they left, Ahimaaz and Jonathan came up and out of the cistern and went on to report to King David. They said to him, "Leave, cross the water at once, for Ahithophel has given such and such counsel in regard to you." So David and all his people moved on and crossed the Jordan. By daybreak there was no one left who had not crossed. When Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not acted upon, he saddled his donkey and departed, going to his home in his own city. Then, having left orders concerning his household, he hanged himself, and so he died and was buried in his father's tomb. Now David had arrived at Mahanaim while Absalom crossed the Jordan, accompanied by all the Israelites. Absalom had put Amasa in command of the army in Joab's palace. Amasa was the son of an Ishmaelite named Ithra, who had married Abigail, daughter of Jesse and sister of Joab's mother Zeruiah. Israel and Absalom encamped in the land of Gilead. When David came to Mahanaim, Shobi, son of Nahash from Rabbah of the Ammonites, Machir, son of Amiel from Lodebar, and Barzillai, the Gileadite from Rogelim, brought beds and covers, basins and pottery, as well as wheat, barley, flour, roasted grain, beans, lentils, honey, and butter and cheese from the flocks and herds for David and those who were with him to eat. For they said, "The people will be hungry and tired and thirsty in the wilderness."